Welcome to China Xinhua News. I'm Ashwani in South Indian city of Hyderabad. And as you can see behind me, there is a bus which is all green in the name of Olectra. Olectra is the joint venture between a Chinese company, BYD, and its Indian partner, Goldstone. This bus looks similar to all other buses, but it is quite distinct in terms of that it runs on electricity. Right now I'm going to take a ride on this bus, so follow me. So this bus is actually, model is called K9. It looks similar, like 12-meter length like all other buses, 2.52 meter in width. But what makes it distinct, not the seating capacity which is quite similar to other buses, but what makes it distinct is actually its electricity. It runs on 250 kilometers with just one single full charge. So let's talk about this more. This has 38 plus 1 seating capacity. As you can see, it has a nice cooling capacity. And right now we have a BYD official with me. Welcome Mr. Adam. So he's Mr. Adam. So I'll talk to him about more about the bus, that how it is flying on Indian road and how it is faring on Indian roads. Welcome Mr. Adam. How do you see that this bus is successful here in Hyderabad city roads or all other Indian roads, since you have been supplying it since 2013?
Actually, we have successfully operated in almost more than 10 cities in India, from north to south. So we have commercial operations now in 5 cities: Pune, Mumbai, Himachal Pradesh, Hyderabad, and one another city is Trivandrum in Kerala.
Okay.
So now, as of now, the passengers, the operators, they are satisfied with our electric buses.
Okay. How do you actually rate this efficiency of this bus actually? Because earlier what used to be actually considered that electric buses are not efficient, they are not power efficient, but since it can run 250 kilometers in a single full charge, then I think this is one of the most efficient electric vehicle in anywhere in the world. What's your take on that?
Our main advantage is our battery, because we BYD Company Limited, we are started from the battery industry, so we know our batteries, we manufacture our batteries, we manufacture almost all the major components, so we have almost all the ownership of the core technology. So the result is we can manufacture, we can design the best bus in the world.
Okay. And now if we talk about the features of the bus, can you please describe some of the features of the bus which is distinct in this?
I think now the battery electric bus is the trend of the future. As of now, the India government, they already put the subsidy in this electric bus industry. As we all know, this first week of March, the DHI, they released the notification of FAME Phase 2, and we think the FAME 2, it will come to power very soon. So I think it's a very big support to our electric bus industry.
And one more thing I just wanted to ask, because this is quite cool and Indian summers are actually most talked about subject. People come in India, they want to avoid Indian summers. So how do you see that cooling capacity, because which consumes more electricity actually?
Yes, here in India the temperature is really high, it's very hot. So when we design the bus, we equip it with a high cooling capacity air conditioner. But as of now, because our battery technology, no operators complained about the air conditioner power consumption. So we think they are satisfied.
Okay, thank you Mr. Adam. So this is Mr. Adam who was talking, who was claiming that the battery capacity of this bus is actually quite huge and it can run up to 250 kilometers in a single full charge. But now let me tell you some of the fact about this bus, that this bus has achieved the highest altitude anywhere in the world any electric vehicle has achieved, which is 3980 meters in the mighty Himalayas on the Indian side. So when you talk about the capacity, when you talk about the reach, when you talk about the ability to reach at the high altitude, then you consider this bus as most efficient, one of the most efficient in the world. Now let me talk to some of the passengers, if I can talk to. Ma'am, can I talk to something about this bus, because this is something running on electricity. How do you see that? Will it a contribution towards reducing pollution or air pollution levels in the country?
First of all, I'm really happy to be traveling in this bus for two reasons. One is that this is public transport and we are decongesting the roads. And the second is that we are on a bus which is not using fossil fuels. We are on a bus which is using battery. So we are reducing our carbon emissions, helping in improving climate change issues, and overall improving our climate as such.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Can I talk to you something about your experience in this bus, which is run on electricity?
Actually, I just said that first time.
Do you think that this electricity run buses are good for environment?
Of course.
Will it reduce the air pollution here in India?
Of course. It will reduce the air pollution, and it is very it's AC, and we are comfortable. We feel comfortable in this, and it is very useful and very what can I say? It is comfortable, and that's it.
Comfortable. So for you, comfortability is the most important thing here. So its
And
ride is
second
comfortable.
thing, it's reduce the pollution. The second thing, and very most important thing, pollution in this. That's it.
So here also people are saying that it is not just reducing pollution levels in the city, but it is quite comfortable also. Let's ask to other guy. Sir, you look quite an experienced guy. How do you see then when government and private companies come together and talking about reducing pollution in the city with the introduction of electric buses like this? How do you experience this?
This is very nice. We can use these green buses to avoid pollution. Because I am working in college, CMR engineering college, our students also are doing like this projects only. These are where giving them to do the more and more projects like this.
How is your experience so far? Do you travel quite often on this bus?
I traveled only just 2-3 times only.
2-3 times. So how was your experience?
This is very nice. Without pollution, without sun, we can go.
Seating capacity, AC is at par with other diesel or petrol run buses?
It is very nice.
It is as good as their other buses.
This is very good than other buses.
Okay. So now these are the take-off passengers. Now let me talk to some other guys who are from Electra, which is actually the joint venture between the Chinese company and the Indian. And now this bus has started moving on. This bus is actually going to Miapur, which is 45 kilometers here from airport, and 265 rupees is the charge, which comes at actually 3.8 US dollars. Sir, so let me talk to some guy from Indian partner also. So we have Rabindra Babu, who's from Electra. Sir, you are from the Indian side of this partnership. How do you see the partnership going on in in any Indian city? Because Electra is supplying now buses to across the country, to different agencies across the country.
Yeah.
How has been so far the partnership with the Chinese company?
It is very much encouraging, excellent. Now we have been having all the cooperation from BYD, and they are supporting us a lot. Any teaching issues here and there, we have that being sorted out at the faster rate. And our customers, end customers who are there, who are purchasing the STUs and all, they are also quite feeling happy now with the performance of the buses, operation of the buses.
So you are the general manager of operations also about this project. So when you talk about operations, do you feel any hurdle working with a Chinese company, or working any hurdle which you could sort out in just a moment?
No,
Any hurdle which you could move over?
no, not at all, not at all. Yeah, we are camping here, in fact, with us and with our customers, at our customer end also, and immediately they are reacting and giving the solutions for each and every. That's the initial teething problems whatever are there. This is absolutely the cancellation part is almost it just become zero within a week time or 10 days. Initially whatever the issues are there have been sorted out as and when we are having it.
So you look engineering part. Initially, when this bus was introduced into 2013 and that trial was taking place, it was said that it was the trial record was zero fault.
Yeah.
Was it true? Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. Based on that only we got the orders on that. We have got arranged the demos at various places, including in Hyderabad, from the same route from Hyderabad to ARGI. They performed very well. Based on the performance only, they placed the orders on us, rated us, and then got the orders.
So Rabindra Babu, who is the GM of Electra, the joint venture between Chinese company and their Indian partner, he's saying that the partnership is going good in the right direction, and they will be looking forward to more such partnership with the Chinese companies in the other Indian cities also. They will be supplying more orders. Right now they have more than 400 buses order in their hands, which they will supply in next few years to different agencies, different cities in India. And now let me move to one of other officials of this joint venture, Sir Vijay Mitra. So you are head of service. So when it comes to service, how do you see these buses actually? Does it need, because there was a notion in previous time about electric bus or electric vehicles that this is not efficient, or this may not be viable option when it comes to the public transport, city transport, because there might be several infrastructure issues, service issues. What's your take on that?
See, compared to the conventional bus, the parts which come on an electric bus is far lesser, and so in terms of service and maintenance also it will be much faster and speedier, and also it takes less amount of time to get the bus back on the road in case of maintenance. So compared to a conventional bus, this is a futuristic technology which is going to come up very high in this scenario, or in India per se, and it's going to yield a lot of results in terms of uptime, which is very important to the operations.
And what about the cost? Because I've been told that this will the ride from airport to Mayapur costs only 265 rupees.
That's right.
Is it at par with other buses, or it is higher or lower, and why it is so?
See, it is in par with the other buses. For example, this route was run with Volvos before, and now BYD Electra buses are running. So the charges are the same. There's no difference in the charges. And if you ask me why, we are in par with the other luxury brands as well. So we are no more, it's not inferior, and we give the same service, good timing, and better opportunity for the buses, passengers also.
Is it about the technical know-how which Chinese company transfer, easily transfer? How is that actually, the technology transfer?
See, the technical transfer is on case-to-case basis as well as wherever it is required. But when it comes to operation and maintenance, they have already shared the knowledge with us. So by that we can set up the infrastructure, tools, equipment and other maintenance devices which takes care of those buses. So I would say that it's much faster.
Okay. So now let me tell you some more fact about this Chinese investment by the BYD company, which is around 150 million US dollars so far here in India in 2 of their manufacturing units. But they are vying to vouch for more. They are not stopping here. Why? Because customers are happy, because consumers want them to stay here. Let me talk to some of the passengers of their experience, like this lady. What's her name? Vandana, do you often quite from airport to your place by this bus? And what is the experience? Do you travel quite often? How often you are traveling in this bus?
Like whenever I go for any like airport trip, so I prefer to take that electric bus because I feel like by using this electronic bus, we are reducing our carbon footprint and whatever pollution we are getting. And also I feel like it is much more convenient for us in terms of like luxury, in terms of AC cooling and all. I have seen in comparison to diesel buses, petrol buses.
Any other feature besides this reducing pollution thing, which you like, which makes it at par with other buses? Because is it at par with other buses?
Actually, it is much more better than that. Yeah.
Wow, what makes it better?
I'll tell you. As I told you, like it's reducing pollution. That's one point. Another point is like it's futuristic. Like we can use it like for a longer. We don't need to go for another way. And also like now they are using charging batteries from the depots. But in future we can charge it from also solar energy. So somehow it will save our electricity as well for charging. So it has chances of improvisation more, and it can go for long.
So Vandana is saying that it has chances of improvisation because it is a futuristic technology. In future, the company may introduce solar panels maybe on rooftop, and then it will create energy or electricity to run this vehicle. Actually, these days people are talking about more on climate change issues. So whether we talk about climate change issue on global level or talking about reducing the carbon footprint on local levels, countries and regions and world leaders all are talking about and all are tackling this growing menace. All are tackling this growing menace, and as you can see, this is the condition of Indian road. Indian roads are not good for smooth and luxury drive, but this bus, as you can see, is made for Indian roads. It was tested in harsh conditions in mighty Himalayas, the hilly terrains, and the plains also. And we talk about the weather conditions here. It is even in summers, in desert, this bus was tested successfully, and that is why it is running quite smoothly. And I was talking about this that climate change issue, and India and China, if you talk about the two countries, they have stepped up their efforts to curb this growing pollution levels in their own respective regions. In recent years, in fact, China has shown great success or major improvement in cleaning its air quality, and that is called China model of development, which actually everyone wonders across the globe, how could China has achieved this much within a short period of time. Let me tell you some great examples of China, because China has achieved this success because it has adopted several green measures, and as they say, going electric is the way forward. Many other countries want to emulate the China model now, and India is no exception. Indian government, in fact, is encouraging Chinese companies and inviting Chinese companies to invest more in India in the futuristic green technologies like this one. If you talk about this BYD company, they have invested 150 million US dollars in this project in 2 manufacturing units in India, and now they have ordered more than 400 buses to supply in various cities in India. This has proved its mettle. It was tested in harsh conditions, and now it's time to look beyond. People, officials and government officials are all looking forward for India to go electric. And as BYD stands, build your dreams. Let's hope that the Chinese company will build India's dreams and turn India's dream of going green or going electric may turn into reality soon with the Chinese help.